Not all coins are what they seem. Some were spent without a second thought. Yet they're worth thousands, even millions today, hidden in drawers, jars, and pockets. Are pieces of history waiting to be discovered. At Rare Coins, we uncover the real value, the truth behind the hype, and the coins collectors would do anything to own. Welcome to Rare Coins. In the world of U.S. coin collecting, few series shine brighter than the Morgan silver dollar. Struck from 1878 all the way to 1921, these large, heavy silver coins aren't just money. They are history you can hold in your hand. And today we begin something special. Our brand new series, the complete list of Morgan silver dollars, from the very first coin in 1878, all the way through the last issue in 1921, we are going to cover them all. Every mint, every variety, every hidden detail that makes collectors chase these coins with such passion. This is going to be a journey. And the best part? We'll be bringing you daily videos so you won't have to wait long. Step by step, we'll explore the Morgans together, until you'll have a complete guide from the first issue to the last. Now let's begin where it all started. The year 1878. This year alone gave collectors 5 different Morgan dollars to look for. That's right, 5 in just the very first year. And each one tells a unique story. First came the 1878 8-tail feathers. This was the original design, the first Morgan dollar ever struck. Collectors today look at it as the true beginning of the series, the starting point of a legend. But there was a problem. The eagle on the back had too many feathers, an honest mistake, but one that didn't last long. So next came the 1878 7-tail feathers, reverse of 1878. The mint tried to fix the design, but not everything was quite right yet. It was another short-lived variety, and today collectors love to compare it side by side with the earlier 8-feather coin to see the difference. But the mint wasn't done yet. Later in the same year, engravers refined the design again, and this time we got the 1878 7-tail feathers, reverse of 1879. This version finally gave the eagle the bold, strong look that would become standard for years to come. And that's just the Philadelphia coins. Out west in the famous Carson City Mint, the 1878 CC was struck. Coins that came straight out of the Wild West era, made of Nevada silver pulled from the legendary Comstock lode. Today, Carson City Morgans are among the most collected coins in all of U.S. history, and this first-year CC is a cornerstone. And finally, the 1878 S, struck at the San Francisco Mint. Known for producing coins with sharp details and quality strikes, this mint gave us another first-year Morgan that collectors treasure to this day. So in just 1 year, we already have 5 different Morgans to chase. The very first design with 8-tail feathers, 2 different 7-tail feather varieties from Philadelphia, a Wild West Carson City coin, and a sharp, well-made San Francisco issue. And here's the best part. Each one of these coins carries its own secrets. Some are surprisingly rare. Some have unique varieties. Some have appeared in auctions for eye-popping amounts. But we're not going to reveal that just yet, because this series is about the full journey. Starting today, we'll go through every Morgan dollar from 1878 to 1921. That means not only Philadelphia coins, but also San Francisco, Carson City, New Orleans, and later even Denver. Along the way, we'll look at mintages, varieties, errors, survival numbers, hidden stories, and yes, the values that can reach into the thousands and beyond. So if you've ever wondered which Morgans are common, which are rare, which are hiding in collections unnoticed, and which can sell for life-changing prices at auction, you're going to find out right here. Think of today's video as the grand introduction. We've just set the stage with the first year Morgans, 1878. And we've seen how quickly the design evolved and how many options there are just from the very beginning. From here, we'll take it one step at a time. Tomorrow, we'll dive deeper into the 1878 coins individually and start uncovering the details that make each one special. Then we'll move into 1879, 1880, and so on, all the way through the end of the series in 1921. So make sure you stay with us daily, because this is just the beginning of a journey through one of the most legendary coin series in American history. By the time we're done, you'll not only know the complete list of Morgans, but you'll also understand the fascinating history behind them. and why collectors are willing to pay such incredible amounts for the right coin. This is the story of the Morgan silver dollar. And today we've just opened Chapter 1. Imagine pulling out an old coin from a box in the attic and realizing it's worth not just hundreds, not just thousands, but tens of thousands of dollars. That's the dream of every coin hunter, and then today, we're looking at one of the most fascinating pieces in the Morgan dollar series, the 1878 seven-tail feathers. Reverse of 1878, minted in Philadelphia. This is a coin that has shocked collectors with its beauty, history, and jaw-dropping auction prices. One example, in a stunning mint state condition, sold for well over $40,000 at auction. And remember, this is just one part of the story. Now here's what makes this coin special. In the very first year of the Morgan dollar, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with the eagle design on the reverse. Originally, they released coins with 8 tail feathers. But it was quickly pointed out that real bald eagles don't have 8 tail feathers. So the Mint scrambled and changed the design to 7. But here's the twist. They actually used 2 different reverse designs with 7 feathers. The first version, known as the reverse of 1878, shows a flat eagle breast with parallel arrows. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of these, but only a fraction have survived in collectible condition, and within that surviving group, very few are graded at the highest levels. That's why collectors are willing to pay enormous sums for well-preserved examples. So what should you look for? First, check the reverse. If your coin has 7 tail feathers with a flat eagle breast and parallel arrow feathers, you could be holding the reverse of 1878. Condition is everything here. Coins in heavily circulated shape might bring $40 or $60, but in mint state with sharp details and no wear, the value explodes. At MS65 or higher, you're talking thousands, and at gem levels, sales have crossed tens of thousands of dollars. Of course, there are also varieties and errors tied to this issue. Some coins show repunched mint marks, die cracks, or even slight doubling, details that can multiply the value. These are the tiny differences that most beginners overlook, but they're what separates pocket change from life-changing treasure. Now let's talk grading. If you believe you have one of these coins in superb condition, don't try to sell it raw. Submitting it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC is absolutely worth it. The difference between an ungraded coin and a graded one at MS65 could mean thousands of dollars in your pocket. Where might you find one of these treasures? The truth is, people are still discovering them. Old dresser drawers, forgotten coin albums, boxes from estate sales, even jars of coins passed down from grandparents. Some collectors tell stories of finding Morgans in garage sales for a couple of bucks. That's why we say, keep searching. These coins are out there. At Rare Coins, we understand your struggle. Many of you are searching tirelessly, digging through old rolls, visiting flea markets, bidding online. Once we were exactly where you are. We hunted without much guidance, wasted time, and missed opportunities. But over time, through experience and study, we learned the secrets, and now we share them with you so you don't make the same mistakes we did. And here's the most exciting part. We're just getting started. This is the second coin in our Morgan dollar series. We'll cover every issue, from the very first in 1878 to the final 1921. Along the way, we'll show you which coins have sold for hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. We won't hide the truth. If a coin has broken records, we'll reveal the exact price, so don't miss a single video. Subscribe to Rare Coins and join us daily as we explore this historic, fascinating, and sometimes life-changing hobby. Your treasure might be closer than you think. Imagine holding a silver dollar that looks almost identical to the others in your collection. But when you look closer, a small change in design transforms it into a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's the magic of the 1878 Morgan dollar. Specifically the 7 tail feathers, reverse of 1879. And yes, one of these coins in gem condition has sold for nearly $50,000 at auction. And the best part? These coins are still out there, hiding in collections, drawers, and even forgotten family albums. Today on Rare Coins, we continue our Morgan dollar journey. with one of the most fascinating varieties ever struck. The Morgan dollar launched in 1878, and as we've already seen, the mint started with 8 tail feathers, then quickly corrected to 7 tail feathers. But here's where it gets interesting. In 1879, the mint improved the eagle design even further, giving the bird a rounded, fuller breast and tilting the arrow feathers differently. Now, some of those 1879 reverse dyes were actually used a bit earlier, in 1878. That's how we got the 7 tail feathers, reverse of 1879. It's a transitional variety, a bridge between the first and second years of Morgan dollars, and because of that, it's one of the most collectible and sought-after coins of the entire series. So how can you tell if you have this rarity? Look closely at the reverse. On the reverse of 1879, the eagle has a rounded breast, unlike the flat breast of the earlier 1878 version. The arrow feathers under the eagle's claws are also slanted differently. One is longer, creating a distinct separation that's easy to see if you know what to look for. If your 1878 Morgan has 7 tail feathers and these details match, congratulations. You've got the reverse of 1879. Now let's talk value. In circulated grades, this coin might trade anywhere from $50 to $200. In uncirculated condition, prices quickly climb into the hundreds. And in high mint state, MS65 and above, this is where it gets jaw-dropping. Auction results show examples soaring to $40,000 to $50,000. That's life-changing money for a coin that might be sitting in someone's forgotten shoebox right now. So where do you find these coins? Here are some real possibilities. Old inheritance collections, where family members stored silver dollars away for decades. Estate sales and auctions, where boxes of coins are sold in bulk. Coin roll hunters and collectors sometimes stumble on them mixed in with common dollars. And believe it or not, people have found Morgans at garage sales and flea markets, priced as just another silver dollar. That's why we tell you, never stop searching. Every coin you pick up could be the one that changes your life. At Rare Coins, we know the struggle. We started exactly where many of you are now, digging through boxes, chasing leads, hoping for that one big discovery. We wasted time, missed coins, and learned the hard way. But eventually we found rare pieces, and those coins changed our lives. Now, we're sharing everything we learned so you don't have to repeat the same mistakes. When we say treasures are out there, we mean it, and this series will prove it. So here's the takeaway. The 1878 7 tail feathers, reverse of 1879, is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of how small details create massive value. The next time you see a Morgan dollar, don't just glance at it, inspect it. You could be holding a $50,000 treasure. And remember, this is only the third coin in our full Morgan dollar journey. We'll cover them all, from 1878 to the final year. 1921, some worth hundreds, some worth thousands, and a few worth millions. Stay with us because tomorrow, we'll continue with the next piece in this incredible first-year lineup. Subscribe, follow, and never miss a chance to uncover the secrets of rare coins. Imagine finding a silver coin in an old cigar box, forgotten for generations, and then realizing it could sell for over $100,000 at auction. That's not a fantasy. It's the reality of the very first Morgan silver dollar ever minted, the legendary 1878 8 tail feathers from Philadelphia. Now, before you rush to check your old coin jars, let me tell you this. Not every one of these coins is worth a fortune, but the rarest, highest graded examples have shocked collectors, with hammer prices well into the six-figure range. One remarkable gem sold for $109,250 $250 at heritage auctions, proving just how valuable the right coin can be. So why is this coin so special? Let's start with the story. The year was 1878. The United States had just passed the Bland-Allison Act, requiring massive silver purchases from Western mines. This led to the birth of the Morgan dollar, named after its designer, George T. Morgan. The first run came from Philadelphia, and this very first version carried 8 tail feathers on the eagle's design. But here's the twist, and it didn't last long. People quickly noticed that bald eagles in real life only have 7 tail feathers, so the mint scrambled to change the design. That's why the 8-feather version is so historically important. It represents the very first strike of America's most famous silver dollar, and at a mistake, that makes it even more collectible. Now let's talk mintage. The Philadelphia Mint produced about 750,000 coins with the 8-feathered design before correcting it. Many went into circulation, got worn down, or melted later under the Pittman Act. Finding one today in pristine condition is almost like winning the lottery. And here's where it gets exciting. Not all 1878 8-feather coins are the same. Some have die varieties, like doubled features or subtle changes, that collectors go crazy for. Errors such as weak strikes or unusual die clashes can push prices dramatically higher. But grading is everything. A heavily worn coin might only bring you $40 to $60. A sharp, uncirculated coin graded MS-65 can soar to $10,000 or more. And the finest known, those few coins in gem condition, are the ones that break into the $100,000 territory. So where could you possibly find one of these? Believe me, we know what it's like. Searching through boxes in basements, jars of old change, drawers in grandparents' houses, even picking up coins at estate sales or garage sales hoping to get lucky. Once we were just like you, chasing the stories, digging through coins, not knowing what we were looking for. But after years of trial and error, and even some painful mistakes, we discovered rare coins that changed our lives forever. That's why now we're here to share those secrets with you, so you don't waste the time we did. And let me tell you this, if you think these coins are gone forever, think again. People are still pulling them out of forgotten collections. Just imagine holding a piece of American history from the very first Morgan dollar issue in your hands. If you happen to find one, don't just throw it on eBay. Step 1 is to get it professionally, graded by services like PCGS or NGC. That certification can be the difference between a $200 sale and a $20,000 sale. After grading, the best places to sell are major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or even Great Collections, where serious collectors compete and drive up prices. So why are collectors willing to pay such incredible sums? It's not just about silver content, it's about history, rarity, and the pride of owning the very first Morgan dollar struck in America, a coin that started a legend. And remember this, while some people are chasing hype with wild claims of $1 million, quarters and pennies, here we deal only in truth. When a coin has crossed 6 figures, we'll tell you. When it hasn't, we'll be honest about that too. That's our mission. Authentic knowledge for serious collectors, sellers, buyers, and investors. This is just the beginning. The 1878 Morgan series is fascinating because in its very first year, the Mint produced 5 different major varieties, the 8-tail feathers, 2 different 7-feather designs, and coins struck in Carson City and San Francisco. Each has its own story, its own surprises, and yes, its own jaw-dropping auction results. We're going to cover every single one of them in this series. From the very first Philadelphia strikes all the way to the final 1921 issues. That's 43 years of history, varieties, mint marks, and hidden treasures. So stay with us. Check your old boxes, your drawers, even those jars of coins you haven't touched in years. Who knows? The coin that could change your life might be closer than you think. And remember, once we were like you, searching without guidance. Now we're here to make sure you never miss an opportunity. At Rare Coins, we bring you the truth behind the coins that matter. If you're a serious collector, investor, seller, or buyer, this channel is made for you. Subscribe now, because tomorrow we're diving into the 1878 7-tail feathers, Morgan dollar, and trust me, you won't want to miss that story. There are coins that every collector dreams of owning, and the 1878 CC Morgan dollar is absolutely one of them. This coin didn't just come out of any mint. It came out of Carson City, Nevada, a mint surrounded by legends of the Wild West, silver booms, and some of the rarest U.S. coins ever struck. And when we tell you the highest auction prices, you'll see exactly why collectors fight tooth and nail for a chance to own one. One of these beauties in top mint state has sold for over $100,000. Yes, 6 figures went for a single silver dollar. Now, why is the Carson City Morgan so special? Let's rewind to 1878. This was the very first year the Morgan dollar was introduced. and Carson City was a small but powerful mint, located right near the massive Comstock lode silver mines. That's the silver that helped build America, and the same silver that struck these coins. Unlike Philadelphia or San Francisco, Carson City had a much smaller output. Only about 2.2 million of the 1878 cc Morgans were minted, which may sound like a lot, but compared to tens of millions from Philadelphia, it's a tiny number. That lower mintage, combined with its Wild West aura, is exactly what makes this coin so desirable today. Collectors instantly recognize a Carson City Morgan because of that bold CC mint mark on the reverse, just below the wreath. It's a small detail, but it's what transforms an ordinary Morgan dollar into a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And believe me, people go crazy when they find those two little letters. Now let's talk about value. If you've got an 1878 cc in heavily circulated condition, it might bring a few $100s. But step into uncirculated territory and prices climb fast. In mid-level mint state, you could be looking at $2,000 to $4,000, and in gem, mint state 65 and higher, that's where we hit those staggering numbers. $50,000, $80,000, even over $100,000 in certain auctions. And this isn't hype. This is real documented history. Coins like this have literally changed the lives of collectors who pulled them out of old collections, not realizing what they had. So where can you still find an 1878 cc? Here's the exciting part. These coins turn up in estate sales, where they've been sitting in a jar for decades. They've been spotted in inherited collections, handed down by grandparents who lived through the silver dollar era. We've seen Carson City Morgans pop up at garage sales, mixed in with common coins and even in old bank bags that were never opened. And yes, believe it or not, a few lucky roll hunters have stumbled upon them. That's why we always say, don't stop looking. Treasure doesn't announce itself. Sometimes it's just two little letters, CC. At Rare Coins, we understand this passion because we've lived it. We know what it feels like to search endlessly, digging through every box, every old drawer, every forgotten corner, hoping for that one discovery. Once upon a time, we were exactly where you are, chasing these treasures, often without guidance. We made mistakes, overlooked details, wasted time. But then, we started finding the rare ones, the coins that made all the struggle worth it. And that's why we're here today, to share those secrets with you, so you don't miss the same opportunities we once did. Think about this. The 1878 cc isn't just silver. It's history in your hand. It's the Wild West. It's the story of the Comstock lode, of Nevada miners hauling ore out of the earth, of the U.S. Mint turning that silver into one of the most beautiful coins America ever struck. And if you're lucky enough to find one in high grade, it could be worth more than a luxury car, more than a down payment on a house, maybe even more than your annual salary, all in a single coin. And this is just the beginning. Remember, we are still in the very first year of Morgan dollars, and already we've seen varieties worth tens of thousands, from the 8-tail feathers to the 7-tail feathers, and now the legendary Carson City Mint. Imagine what's still ahead in this series. We'll cover every single coin from 1878 to 1921, one by one, showing you where they came from, how to identify them, and yes, how much they've sold for at the very top of the market. Some are worth hundreds, some thousands, and a few will blow your mind with prices in the millions. So stick with us, because tomorrow, we'll keep this first-year journey rolling with another rare and fascinating Morgan dollar. Subscribe, follow, and stay connected, because here on Rare Coins, we bring you the truth, the history, and the treasures that could still be hiding in your collection. When it comes to Morgan dollars, every mint has its own story. And the San Francisco Mint, known as the Granite Lady, gave us one of the strongest entries of the entire first year. The 1878 Morgan dollar is not just another coin. It's the very first Morgan struck at San Francisco, a city that built its reputation on producing some of the sharpest, most beautifully struck coins in U.S. history, and collectors know San Francisco Morgan stand apart. Now here's the exciting part. While the 1878 had a mintage of over 9 million, which is high compared to Carson City, What really makes it special is the condition. San Francisco struck coins with excellent detail. And that means many Carson City Morgans survived in much higher quality than their Philadelphia or Carson City cousins. That's why collectors chase these. The sharpness, the luster, the bold eagle, and of course, that little S mint mark under the wreath. But don't let the larger mintage fool you. While a well-circulated 1878 S might sell for a couple $100, the moment you step into uncirculated grades, everything changes. In mint state 63 or 64, you're already looking at $600 to $1,000 coins. Push higher into gem mint state 65 and 66, and you're talking about coins worth several thousand. And here's the kicker. A few of the finest known examples, graded MS 67 Plus, have sold for more than $100,000 at auction. Imagine that. A single silver dollar from 1878 worth more than a luxury car. And that's just one coin. Think about it. How many people today might still have one of these without even realizing it? Maybe it's sitting in a family coin jar, an old jewelry box, or tucked into a safety deposit box where it's been forgotten for generations. We've seen coins like this surface at estate sales, in dusty collections handed down by grandparents, even in random boxes of old coins bought at flea markets. And yes, every once in a while, a sharp-eyed roll hunter spots one in circulation. Though that's becoming incredibly rare, the point is they're out there, and that's why you keep searching. And here at Rare Coins, we know what that search feels like. We've been there, digging through every bag, flipping through every old album, chasing leads that went nowhere. Once we were just like you, hunting with no real roadmap. But then we started finding the treasures. Rare coins that turned out to be worth thousands, even life-changing amounts. That's why we share everything with you now. Because we know how easy it is to miss what's right in front of you if you don't have the knowledge. The 1878 S Morgan isn't just silver. It's San Francisco in the late 1800s. It's the story of a city rising from the ashes of the gold rush. A mint producing world-class coins, and collectors more than a century later still marveling at the quality. It's history, art, and wealth all packed into 90% silver and 10% copper, carrying the spirit of the West Coast in every strike. And remember, this was just the first year. We've now covered all 5 of the 1878 Morgans, the 8 tail feathers, the 2 7 tail feathers varieties, the Carson City legend, and now the San Francisco powerhouse. Together, they set the stage for one of the most fascinating coin series in American history. And guess what? This is only the beginning. Some of the coins we'll cover later in this series have sold for $500,000, even into the millions, and we're going to show you each one step by step. So stay with us here on Rare Coins. We bring you daily videos, walking you through the entire Morgan Dollar series, from the very first to the very last. Who knows? The next coin we discuss might just be the one you already have sitting at home.